Hey there, super friends. It's Joey with Last Point Gaming. Today is Friday, November 8th, 2019. How y'all doing today? Didn't record yesterday because it was pouring down rain. Like, not just a little rain that you gotta hear my windshield wipers going, but like, pouring. And, audio quality is already not great, right? We don't need any more strikes against us on that score. So, I just gotta talk about this. Last night, I threw up a Twitter poll asking if I should take this career setback as an excuse to launch my full-time Magic streaming career. The four options I gave were yes, no, maybe if you were better, and get a goddamn job. And now all of us have to wait another life cycle. Thanks, asshole. To my Twitter followers' credit, an overwhelming 76% were like, nah. Some version of nah. And most of them used just the polite no. So the breakdown of votes, when I last checked, there's still like an hour left on the poll as of this recording, was... now, I had to take how many votes I got and the percentages to do the math, so hopefully we're pretty close. 34 total votes. 8 said, yeah, go for it. 19 said just a polite, nah, that's probably not what you want to be doing. 2 said maybe if you were better, and 5 said get a goddamn job. I appreciate you all. Of course, I wasn't serious. I have to keep joking about this, otherwise my anxiety is going to, rise up like a wave, like a tidal wave, and crush me. So, the meeting I had with the recruiter yesterday went pretty well. They have 2 jobs they think they want to submit me for, plus got an email from the person that my buddy referred me to, that they have a job that might be good for me, and some of my contacts at my last gig have said that I should really just reach out to my old partner in charge of the division I worked in, and see what he can do for me. So I'm going to email him this weekend. May need a little liquid courage to get going there, but all in all, many irons in the fire, and I got a little time before it gets scary, so. And you know what, with being able to file for unemployment and everything, if it comes to that, yeah, it's going to make things a little tight, because maximum payout for unemployment is pretty low, comparatively, but it's fine. It'll be something to get us through until things can be worked out. Like, that's just where we're at. We're just going to keep chugging along. I plan on failing spectacularly tonight with Is It Storm at F&M, because Boo stole my humans deck. I played a couple test hands with husband last night, and, he was kind enough to get his face bashed in 7 whole times. Now, he was playing the humans deck, but you gotta keep in mind, Storm is actually a really good matchup for humans. Once I figured out what I'm supposed to be doing in that matchup, I, never lost to it again. But we didn't sideboard, so that's a big thing. Because humans gets better advantage over Storm from the sideboard. And, he wasn't getting great hands, and, like, I just kept finding answers for the meddling mages. But we didn't sideboard. He hasn't played in a while, and he definitely is not really familiar with either deck. So, it's not a great representation of how I'll do tonight, but it was nice to win some games of Magic and not have anything turned into a fucking elk. That was great. That was my favorite part. No elk in sight. I was going to today do the episode where I talk about, like, the couple, or I guess the one turn sequence I played in Kingdom Death last Friday with Epidemic. But I think I'm going to save that for Monday. And I'm just going to kind of ramble today. So if you're not into listening to that, I totally understand if you just want to tune out now. Nope. It's my turn. I go now. But it's been, it's been one of those weeks where there's laughing, then crying, and then laughing, then crying, and then laughing, and then panic attack, then crying and laughing. I've been laid off before, but the last time I was laid off, it was because they were downsizing. You know, it was during the economic recession back in, like, 2008. And I really think they wanted to take out my boss, and I covered his ass, like, really well. This time I'm being let go because it's just not a good fit, quote unquote. I mean, and you know, it's totally fair. He is completely right. It's not a good fit. There's just too much different from what I was doing before. And, like, not only having to learn all these new skills, but, like, I have to dust off these old skills that have sat and atrophied for a few years. Because I haven't done a whole lot with it. And, you know, there's just, like, really no guidance. It's just like, okay, hey, I have sys access. Awesome. Cool. Fix this. Oh, okay. I don't know how your system works. I don't know what any of these acronyms mean. I don't know what half of these table names mean. They're not real words. And, yeah, my anxiety just kind of swallowed me up. I allowed myself to get overwhelmed, which I think is the biggest thing. Also, get stupid. Now that I think I actually really understand how it works. It's not that bad, I guess, but I still think it's a dumb way to manage this stuff. So my old gig, like what we used to do is we use TFS with file lock. So you check out a file, you make your changes, you check it in, and everybody's checking in and out of the source branch for that release. So there's no, like, having to merge branches and all that kind of shit. It's just... Now, granted, if you fuck something up, you, like, break the entire build and everybody's pissed off at you because it needs fixed before anybody can do anything, or they have to roll back where they pulled out your change set. And it does get stupid, like, when you have files that are commonly used. Like, we had a file that mapped things between our back end for the application and our database. And so anytime you had to add new calls to the database, you had to add to that file. So when you got 30 developers all working on pages and say 20 of them are adding calls to the database, they all need that file. So it wasn't without its downsides, but God, did it make more sense than this shit to me. Because then, like, when you go to check in your changes, you say, okay, these changes get checked in with this change set, and, you know, it's for, you know, this work item. And here it's like, okay, this branch with Git is dedicated to this work item. So I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to, you know, ask my colleagues to review and approve it to get merged into the regular branch. Meanwhile, I'm going to start working on this other thing. Oh, wait, I have comments on the first thing, so now I have to, like, commit these changes so I can go back to my other branch. Oh, shit, I fixed that in the wrong branch. Like, dude, it's just not fucking cool, man. But I think I get it now. It's still obnoxious, still don't love it. People told me I was going to love it, still don't love it. But I think I actually understand how it works. Like, that's the really annoying thing, is like, I finally think I have things figured out, and they're like, yeah, it just took you a little too long to get there. And I'm like, I mean, that's fair. But I think I finally understand. Of course, this is probably the fourth time I thought I finally understand, and the other 3 times I was not correct. I did not, in fact, understand. Anyway, it's a hit to the confidence, but I took a big jump, and I went splat, and that happens. So it's just figuring out what to do from here. But it is not going to be professionally streaming Magic. That is not the thing that's going to happen. It's also not going to be trying to professionally grind tournaments. Now, I may be a mediocre server-side developer, but I'm a hell of a lot better at that than I am at playing Magic. Let's all be honest here. I will say, it was incredibly nice last night to sit at my kitchen table and get to play Magic with my husband and not, again, have to deal with some jackass turning all my shit into elves. Like, just sit down, play some good old kitchen table Magic. Learning a new deck and everything. It's a good time. It's good stuff. I mean, husband's hoping I do well tonight, because I do kind of need a win at this point. It's been a kind of traumatic week. I'm like trying not to let on. I haven't told anybody on my team yet that I'm going, and I feel like my boss hasn't either. I did tell a couple of guys that I smoke with. They were nice about it. They're like, wow, this seems pretty fucked up. I'm like, nah, he's probably right. Like, this shit hasn't been working out. But hey, I'm still kind of hoping. My contacts at my old gig seem to feel that if I reach out to my old boss's boss's boss, after they've had some kind of sidelong conversations with him, that the reaction will be favorable, and maybe this will turn into, you know, just an affair in my long marriage with my old gig. And you know what? I won't even be mad if he's like, well, we can take you back, but you gotta go to that old project that you hated being on. Because at this point, at least I know how shit works there. I know how to do the things. I have learned a lot of neat stuff. Hopefully, if there's not too long a separation between me and employment, there is a sweet-ass laptop on sale Black Friday at Target that we might be able to make work. And then not only will I not have to steal husband's laptop to play on, but it's, a gaming laptop, and really the specs between a gaming laptop and a dev machine for, small projects, nothing huge, aren't that different. So I think I can, start doing some cute little side projects again. And, yeah, I've learned some, really neat shit that I'm going to get to play with that. So, WotC announced, last year or the year before, time is confusing to me, that they were working on developing a new Wizards Event Reporter, which is nice because the old was clearly built in, the late 90s, and it's just not great. There's some awesome features that we have the technology for now that we didn't back then that would be nice to have. They were talking about how, there's, going to be the event runner version, and then, also a companion app that players can download to their phone, and it'll push their parents to their phone, and all that kind of happy shit. And I was so excited about this. Mostly so I don't have to try to read people's names off the sign-up sheet anymore, because goddamn y'all, take some penmanship classes. Please. Please. I have a few players that, it's not super neat handwriting, but it's, very legible, and then I have some players that look like they got cattle prodded in the middle of writing their name. I mean, it just seemed like a lot of promise, and they're like, yeah, so we're working on this, and we just never heard anything about it. Personally, of course, I'm all about never having to go to a pairings board at a larger event again, except, I guess, if I'm in Philly, because, the basement of the casino there is just awful. There's, zero reception. It is seriously shitty. But, imagine how cool it would be if you're at an event, right, and you have the app, and your DCI number is registered at that event, and so it sends you a notification hey, your event is starting, because DCI number is a unique tracker for Magic players, right? And then if you didn't register for that event, you can go, what? So yeah, and then the tournament organizer can set the clock in there so that wherever you are in the tournament, you can always check how much time's left on the timer. And when your new pairing is ready, it just pushes it to your phone. You get a push notification saying, ding, hightail it to table 110, if you're me. And it's only, round 2. If it's round 5, you're at, 3:30. And, all your information's there. Plus, it's supposed to have capability for each player to enter the match results, and as long as they match up, it says, cool, thank you. I don't know what the protocol was supposed to be for if they don't match up. But yeah, so all this stuff just done through your phone. Don't have to look for a pairings board. We don't have to have match slips. Now, of course, you do run into a situation, what about people who don't have smartphones? Which, theoretically, is a thing that may still be able to happen. I really don't know there. So, it's not without its concerns. You're still going to need to accommodate for that kind of stuff. But yeah, this was, super exciting to hear about. And then, we just never heard anything about it again. So, I had wanted to build something like this a while ago. That regionals I went to with one pairings board for 200 fucking players. Yeah, that was some bullshit. And, I thought about how great this would be. Because, people say that, smaller tournament organizers can't do online pairings because, they don't have the staff to enter the data. I'm telling you now, Star City Games, and this isn't because, I worked this open, so I got to see how things work. No, I didn't get to see how things work at all. But I'm telling you now, they don't have data entry clerks entering the pairings after they're created manually into the website. Like, that is not how that works. The WER has to export the information in some kind of consumable manner. I mean, you can print pairings. Therefore, it has to export something to the printer. You just have to intercept that, figure out how it's, delineated, and write code to consume it. This is an oversimplification, but that's about how it works. So I was going to start working on building this, except Leah hasn't been able to handle coding in a couple years. She is old. So if I can get this new machine, I think I'm going to work on building it. And I think I can get the guys at my LGS to, run some pilot tests with me and see how it works out and everything. But yeah, there's all kinds of fun shit I just want to build on the side, and I want to play with Vue.js. I didn't really get to do anything with it after I took that training class at my old job. And here I got to learn how the entity framework works, which is pretty neat. It simplifies a lot of stuff. I like it. I also got to learn how NuGet packaging works. That's less interesting to me, mostly because it's been a giant pain in my ass. So yeah, I got to learn a lot of really neat shit. I really did. I am definitely a better developer for my time I've spent here. So, I am really excited to get to play with some of that new knowledge and everything, and get back into building some side projects and just having fun shit to work on. So, it's exciting. Just a lot of exciting stuff. But yeah, I want to try to build this thing that they were talking about building, and then we never really heard any more about it. And I don't know, maybe it's still in development. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to get all the features to work and everything, but God, it would just be so fucking cool. What would be even cooler is if you could register for events through that system, remit payment through it, and I guess WotC, or, the payment gets passed on to the TO. And just kind of have this one-stop shop for all this. And I think I can build it. I've actually put a lot of thought into how you'd arrange the tables and everything. And, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be pressure points I hit that, require some hours of reading articles and watching some YouTube tutorials. But I think I have a pretty good idea of how this would all work. So, I'm really jazzed about that. Yeah, this episode had very little to do with gaming. I'm sorry. This pressure is just kind of built up a lot, It's been a long time since I've been involuntarily unemployed. I don't like the thought of that. I also don't like the thought of, losing this great pay bump I got to go to this place, but if I can get back into my old gig for my old salary, I'd take it. seems like a fine trade-off, right? I left for 3 months. They get out of giving me my yearly raise that I should have gotten during this time. I think that seems fair. Maybe. Ah, good God. Mistakes were made. But you know what? I think I would have regretted turning down this gig and not at least trying. It's a little stress right now. You know, hindsight's 20/20 and all that, but I am intangibly richer for the experience. I am going to miss the guys I smoke with. I'm going to miss the team I was working on. They're all good people. I mean, I can't say it was all in all a really great experience because it was incredibly stressful and like kicked the ever-loving shit out of me. Really did. Also, it's gonna be, brain's gonna be having fun with this failure for ages. I'm sure of it. But the people I worked with were fantastic. My boss, he was great, even though I'm like kind of terrified of him. You would think after years of, being in the gaming arena and being in IT, that the kind of faux immersion therapy would like fix this thing where I have this inexplicable wariness of men in authority over me. And it's not like a conscious thing. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm a woman, so I have to like consciously be concerned about that. Now it's like an instinctual thing. And like, if you're like, well, what are you afraid of? I have no clue. It's just like, I don't make eye contact. I interact with them as little as possible, until I warm up. And but guy was like really nice when he sat me down and was like, yeah, so this just isn't working out, and like, you're trying, and I get that and I appreciate it, but this is not working out, right? Like, you see this too, right? This whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I was just trying to bide my time. But, okay. My team was great. The guys I smoked with were awesome. I still have another week with these people. So, think some good thoughts for me. Hope something comes through. This is just like a bad time of year to be in this position. We got the holidays coming up, which, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst ever to have some downtime around all that. The financial pressure would kind of suck, but we'd be okay. We just got to rein in the budget a bit. Wouldn't be starving. Wouldn't be like, yay, we have one pack of ramen to share between the 5 of us. I had said before when I talked about, the whole being in a privileged position, that if it came to it, like, if I came to realize that the company I was working for was doing something incredibly immoral that I couldn't be a party to, that yeah, I could just quit my job. It would suck. Things would be tight, and I'd have to figure out what to do from there and everything, and where to go. But it wouldn't like wreck us. We'd be able to afford it. So it's the same kind of deal here. We can bear this for a bit. If it goes on too long, that's going to become problematic, but for a few weeks, it's workable. I can work with it. weeks, right? But you know, husband was trying to get me to put in my 2 weeks notice a couple weeks ago when I got incredibly wrecked by something I was working on. So, we're all gonna be okay. I'm gonna land on my feet. I always do. It's just a bit of stress right now. But, sorry this wasn't more gaming related. Hopefully you still stuck with me. And if you did, as always, if you made it this far with me, thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all on Monday and tell you all about my epic adventure with Epidemic in Kingdom Death Monsters.